Hey guys, so it's a Saturday, 5 p.m. As you all know, majority of Manila is in lockdown. So I hope that while everyone's staying at home, while everyone's resting, while everyone's trying to at least try to avoid as much contact as possible, you're using this time also not just to check on the markets, check on what's happening, know what's going on so you can make your next trade, but I really hope that you use this time also to build your skills, to build your knowledge. At the end of the day, when it comes to investing and business, your money grows in proportion to the skills that you have, to the experience that you have as well. So I highly encourage you as we go about this month, no, take the time to learn, build new skills, improve your craft, so that when all of this is said and done, you guys will have a better outlook in terms of how you deal with your finances as well. So I'd like to start with basically this. The Dow Jones are rebounded massively when it's up 9.36%, closing at 23,185. And it's not just the Dow Jones. NASDAQ and S&P 500 were all up roughly around 9% as well. This is a historic rebound also coming from the large drop that we also saw over the past days prior to that as well. Please remember, sometimes in large drops, there will also be large reversals right after. So this was the massive drop that we saw starting March 11 after all of the fear of the coronavirus becoming a pandemic. Please remember that was the biggest trigger. Then there were some doubts and hesitations on how Trump would handle it as well. But the large move up that we saw was just basically confidence that Trump is basically in control of what's happening, and then their plans and stimulus also to create kits and packages and the 50 billion in Federal Reserve resources to combat the coronavirus. So this breeds a sigh of confidence towards the markets. Please also remember that the Philippine market is up primarily because I showed this and I made a video off of it as well, that this large drop, please remember intraday the market opened here, no, it opened it opened massively low at around at around 5362. Then you saw it intraday drop to 51. The large move up, the large intraday move up was because of confidence of the government, confidence of Dominguez to tell SSS and GSIS to buy up. Please remember this also, that SSS and GSIS normally buy stocks. So when people are saying that they did the wrong move for buying stocks, they've been buying stocks for the longest time. The only difference and the only thing that will change right now is that they're just actually buying more. That's just basically it. But they've been buying stocks for a very, very long time. And please remember, they're going to buy it for sure, mostly for dividends. Of course, capital appreciation will also be part of it. Capital appreciation will also allow them to have more gains later on. But even if the stocks that they would buy or the markets would drop down, the dividends they would get alone just from PLDT or Globe is already massively higher than what they would normally get from fixed instruments as well. So, but before I continue and show you what's happening there, allow me to show you also what's happening in Asian markets. So looking at Asian markets, you will see Australia up. Bangladesh is one of the few markets that are down. China's down. Hong Kong is down. India massively up. Indonesia massively up. Also, Japan's down, Kazakhstan is down, Malaysia is down, New Zealand is down, Pakistan is up, the Philippines, which is very, very important, is up. We even closed 1% higher from the lows of what we had intraday. So close to 5-1, we closed at 5-8. Very, very good. Singapore is down, Korea is down, Sri Lanka is down, Taiwan is down, Thailand up, Vietnam down. So we're getting mixed movements uh, in the Southeast Asian region as well. So basically, one of the things that people were saying at the start of all of this was, what watch it because the U.S. markets will be down right after the Philippines is up. But guess what? This is relatively good. Philippine market is up, then U.S. markets are up as well. Then we're up to a long holiday. But a couple of things that I'd like to mention also is this. Above and beyond the lockdown, we're going to have a curfew here in Manila. I don't know how that will impact markets, but the curfew will be from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So let's see how investors react to all of this. Please remember, we can never forecast how the market will go, and we don't know how people will also move, in stride of all of this as well, and how people will respond to this. But this is something that was not factored in yet. This just came out a few hours way before the market was already closed already. And another thing that I'd like to mention is this. Please remember the Philippines will borrow more money to combat the coronavirus. So please remember we already have a budget deficit already. So the Philippine government will be borrowing even more this year as the revenue collection is expected to drop by more than 91 billion due to economic slowdown triggered by the novel coronavirus. Please remember also that what who we are as a country, what we do. The BIR collections are also predicated on how much they would get from the businesses. If businesses are not doing so well, so revenues won't also be as high. If revenues won't be as high, the money that the government will have that they can use for projects will also be relatively low. So please take note of that. And a lot of people have been talking about our budget deficit. So this adds further insight into it. By the way, before I continue and show you the charts, I just like to invite you. I made this video with Dr. Alvin Ang. He's an amazing economist. You can just look at the title, What is Happening in the Philippine Economy. He highlighted the effects of the coronavirus in our economy. What's good, what's bad, what are the things that we could look out for, what are the things that we can be optimistic about, and the sectors that will generally get hit based on all of this. So if you'd like to know more how big of an impact this coronavirus is in our economy, what are those? Everyone's been talking that the biggest hit will always be transportation, tourism. But what we're gonna zero in on this particular video that I did with Alvin Ang is that one of the biggest areas that will get hit also is trade. Please remember, China supplies a lot of the stuff that we have in the world. So if China is not doing so well, we also will get hit in certain aspects that we're having. So this one, you can just click this video. Everything will be there. Everything that you need to know of how the economy will respond to coronavirus. By the way, if you're new to this channel, super appreciate it if you could subscribe and you can hit the bell. I'm Marvin Gurmo. I make daily videos on how you can trade, how you can invest, and how you can win in the markets. And I want to show you how the charts are also responding, what the PSEI is actually saying in all of this. But before that, I don't know if you know this, but Bill Gates also stepped down as Microsoft. He stepped down of the board from the board of Microsoft. That's one. And aside from him stepping down from the Microsoft board, he's also stepping down from the board of directors of Berkshire Hathaway as well. So one of the reasons why he's doing that is he wants to focus on a lot of his philanthropic ventures as well. So, anyways, this is a chart. If you notice it, also you will see this, and I'll try to make a longer video off of the PSEI, but I wanted to just zoom out and regardless of the large jump that we've seen, no, it still isn't a trend reversal. Just to reiterate, the large jump that we've seen isn't still a trend reversal. If I'll try to put in some of the indicators that I normally use, you could put this and slot that in. You will generally see that even looking at the MACD, we still haven't seen any reversal yet as of this point in time. This is just a normal knee-jerk reaction. At least it removes a large green candle, shows us that there's more buyers willing to buy it already. There are a lot of people who are relatively bottom picking, but if you look at all of these moving averages, they're still bearish as well. If you look at the MACD, it's also bearish as well. So from a chart perspective, all of our indicators are still showing us that the market is still heavily bearish. All of our indicators are also showing us that from a reversal standpoint, we're not yet there. So a lot of people are saying that, hey, this could just be a dead cat bounce, but it really hasn't bounced for it to be recognized as a dead cat bounce. We have to actually see it. If I will try to project it, no, one of the things that you could look out for is probably this. This is a very short downtrend that got built now from the breakdown of the 7-2 resistance level. So possibility is it could try to hit this, and if there's really still a downtrend, we could possibly see it slope down and go down to this level. But from a short-term resistance perspective, I'll peg this as a resistance level. You have the 6-7 level as your short-term resistance, which is relatively close also to the 20-day moving average and also this trend line. So should there be any selling that could happen, it will be as it attacks this short-term downtrend or as it attacks this 6,700 resistance level. So those are the possible narratives as well. And should selling happen, possible, allow me to zoom out to give you more perspective into this. If you look at this also, this 6-7 level is so consistent with this, the 2000 November 2018 support. Then here October 2018 support, not so close, but somewhere around that level. Then allow me to zoom out further. Uh, if you notice our markets, same thing, very, very consistent support. We're still below even the 6,000 level, but jumping to 5,800 at least gives us a positive inkling of buyers trying to bottom pick as well. And again, everything that happened was predicated on GSIS and SSS wanting to buy the markets, or the execution for them to actually buy more as well. So just to summarize everything, number one, US markets are up. That's positive. Number two, Philippine markets are up. The US market is up because of Trump signaling how they're going to deal with the coronavirus. The Philippine markets are up uh, based on the based on Dominguez giving an order for SSS and GSIS to buy more Philippine stocks because they think it's relatively cheap already. Risk though is lockdown starts tomorrow. Another risk is we don't know yet how investors will respond to this curfew as well. So there, allow me to update you over the next few days how this will be. But post your questions below. And lastly, I'd like to point out that the chart, albeit the green candle, the buy up that happened yesterday, we still don't have a reversal yet. I repeat, from a trend perspective, we really haven't reversed yet. So for position traders, there's still no sign of reversal. For those who are asking if this is the bottom, we don't know yet. What I would like Sana to see is we see the market start to consolidate first so that there's a buying base already. But there were a lot of people already who started to bottom pick, no, SM Prime at 27, Ayala Land near 30, Jollibee near 128 level. So there will be opportunities for people with very, very long time horizons. There will be opportunities for people who want to pick those stocks as they start to dip at very, very low levels. So sometimes when there's risk, sometimes when there's fear, that's the biggest time for you to be able to maximize your yield also. As long as, number one, at the back of your head, if you're a long-term investor, your timeline should be very, very long. Number two, aside from that very, very long timeline, it's the buffer that should it go down, you still have, uh, you are okay with it. And number three, you know what you're buying. It could be the index fund, or it could be specific stocks that you know that have fundamentals. And I'll never stop saying this. As long as, for those who are long-term investors, you can always pick the ones that have good dividends, because dividends will give you cash flow when the markets are not doing so well. So I guess that's it for now. Send in your questions, comment them below, and then I'll try to make videos off of that as well. And I'll say this over and over, it's very important in markets like this not to panic, to act based on logic, to follow your plan, to follow your strategy, and always put in money that you can always afford to lose, that even if it goes to zero, you're supposed to be okay with it as well. So that's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. Bye, everyone.